How we doing? This is Fox back again for sound design tutorials. I'm following up on a request today by this person here. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. It's not in my vocabulary to pronounce some sort of words, but he's asked me to recreate a bass from a track, and it is this track. I'm not going to play it because it's going to affect my monetization and stuff like that, but it's Mark Glower, a track called The Way That I Feel, and it's the original mix by him. It's a really good deep house track. I'll post a link in the description to this track if you want to hear it to compare to the sound that I've done. He wanted me to try and make it in Sylenth, which is what I've done. So yeah, that out of the way. This is the sound that I've come up with a little beat. Pretty good likeness if you compare it directly to the one. Slight differences. I'm quite sure it wasn't made with Sylenth. It's got quite an analogue feel to it. Be made with Monaco or something like that, I would have thought, or Diva. But yeah, pretty close. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I made this, seeing as I made it. We're going to go ahead and initialize this. I'm going to solo this Sylenth track, so we're only hearing this. Okay, part one, we keep on a saw wave. I change it to 4 voices. Even though it's a bass patch, it was a real rich, full sounding patch. 4 voices, keep the octave on 0. I did detune these voices slightly, but we need to uncheck this re-trigger button so that the new voices are moving freely of each other. Set the master envelope up for A, just give it a tiny bit of attack, a tiny bit of release, just to stop any clickings as the notes overlap. Okay, oscillator B is a square wave. This is what gave it the main body of the sound. I could tell it had a square wave in it straight away just by listening to it. This one has 4 voices unison. For some reason in Sylenth, square wave seems to be a lot louder and overpowering compared to saw waves, so we have to back the volume right back to about 6.5. Pitch this one down 1 octave. Detune a little bit more than the square saw wave, around to about 3.5. Keep the re-trigger checked on this one. Sounds real fuzzy and horrible at the minute. The way we tame this sound and keep everything in check is with an envelope on the filter. It's a low pass filter for A and B. We move the cutoff round to about 1120 Hertz. I had it. Anyway, in that sort of region, 1100 Hertz, 1200 Hertz is going to be fine. I did give it a bit of drive. Not much, 0.71 decibels of drive back into the filter. The master filter, keep how it comes as standard. Just click on the warm drive button just to have a bit more warmth to the sound. I'll tell you what, I'll apply the envelope on the filter at the end once we've set up both oscillators. So that's part A. I'm going to go to part B now. I'm going to solo this while we work on part B. Part B is a saw wave also for A, 2 voices unison for this, no detune, pull the stereo all the way around to 0. It's a neat trick this is, if you're going to have 2 oscillators, the same sort of saw wave, change the stereo field of them so they're taking up more parts of the spectrum, just help beef the sound up. So I want the stereo on 0, detune on 0, volume on full, phase on 0 as it comes as standard. Keep on 0 octave as well.
Okay, then we want a nice sub element now for the last oscillator. So we want 3 voices unison on a sine wave, and pull this one down 1 octave. Again, pull the stereo on 0, detune these slightly, just a tiny bit, up about 0.3. Volume for this down as well, around about 7. Okay, both parts together. Okay, one thing I will do quickly, which you don't have to do, is I'm going to set the velocity to A and B. That's just how I had it set up for the patch that I made. I wanted one of these notes to be quieter. This second one in these pair here is a little bit quieter. Okay, that is it. I mean, still sounds like a raspy mess at the minute. This is where envelopes on filter cutoffs really come into their own. So yeah, a low pass filter for part A and B. We're going to set both the filters up identically and then have one envelope to control both of them together. So yeah, cutoff for filter B, I say around about 1200. Between 11 and 12 is fine for the cutoff. A bit of warm drive again for B. Resonance, no resonance. I mean, you can fiddle with a filter cutoff to suit later on. Warm drive is on the master filter. Okay, all about the envelope now. So we want an envelope to control cutoff for A and B. And there's 2 sorts of envelopes you can use to control a filter. You can use one where it's just the decay controlling the speed, so it snaps to the amount exactly instantly, and then the decay time controls it off. Or you can close the filter down slowly using an attack time. On basses, I find this one generally works better, so that's what we're doing. We're going to use the attack time to control how slow this filter closes from where it is now to negative, which is the amount we're going to choose here. We're going to choose it backwards to about -7. You need the sustain full, so when the attack time closes it, it stays at that point. So now, bit of release. All you do now is dial the attack in till it sounds like how you want it. For this tutorial purpose, I had it around about 3. Bit of release on the filter just to stop the notes clicking. Easy, lovely sounding patch this is. All I did for effects, I tried a little bit of delay tailing the... There is a little bit of delay in there, but I think it's only on the higher parts. I would generally do that inside Ableton with sort of a ping pong delay and like filter it up. But yeah, all I did was an EQ, and as a bass patch I boosted the bass and I aimed it around about 80 Hertz, which was the subby part. Real good likeness for this, pretty good, pretty quickly. It only took me about half hour to do this. Square waves, saw waves, good for basses. I did try a bit of distortion on it with an envelope on the filter. I'll show you how I had it. I had fold back and mount down. Dry went about 30, and then I used the same envelope to control distortion and mount. just sort of rasping at the start of the sounds. But when I listened to the track back over, it didn't have it. So yeah, really pleased with that. Another Sylenth one, deep house bass. Yeah, I hope this is what the chat wanted. Get in touch if you want any lessons or you want to get in on any of the live streams. You really need to sign up to my Facebook or Google+. That's how this chap got in touch with me, through Facebook. It's where I post when I'm going to be doing live streams, where you can interact with me direct. I do these sort of things on the fly if you ask me while if I'm capable of doing it, obviously, and I've got the synth you want me to do it with. So yeah, really need to check out my Facebook, Google+, or Twitter. I'll keep you up to date with when my live streams are coming. But yeah, for now, that is it. Thanks for watching. Cheers.